Well, good morning, Many Paths Spiritual Center, and welcome to the sanctuary. Happy holidays, everybody. On behalf of Reverend Deb Moore, I am Ryan Gill. This is the Sanctuary Band. That's Jackie, Jackson, and Daphne. We're going to get everything started with a couple of songs back to back to not only get us set for a special service today, but get us in the holiday spirit. So everybody stand up and let's wake up this morning with our mind set on spirit. This is my wish for the world, that peace would find its way to every boy and girl. This is the time for harmony. Let love be the song that everybody sings. Fill the air with joyful noise, ring the bells and raise your voice. Let there be peace on earth. Let there be peace on earth. Lift your light and let it shine. Shine, shine, shine. Let every voice be heard. Let there be peace on earth. Hear the sweetest sound, the sound of hope to come. Together we can bring goodwill to everyone. Let it start with you. Let it start with me. Let every nation rise and sing this melody. Fill the air with joyful noise. Ring the bells and raise your voice. Let there be peace on earth. Let there be peace on earth. Lift your light and let it shine. Shine, shine, shine. Let every voice be heard. Let there be peace Let every nation rise and sing this melody. Fill the air with joyful noise. Ring the bells and raise your voice. Let there be peace on earth. Let there be peace on earth. Lift your light and let it shine. Shine, shine, shine. Let every voice be heard. Let there be peace on earth. Oh, 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 oh. Let there be peace on earth. Let there be peace on earth. Oh, let every voice be heard. Let there be peace on earth. Let every voice be heard. Let there be peace on earth. All right. Sound beautiful this morning. Please have a seat. And all the kids can go with Miss Steph. Miss Steph is back in the house. Yay! And ready for Christmas. All right. It's really no fair for all of us adults because they're having a party today. I know. That being said, if you stay after today, if you signed up for the Yule log decorating, you're going to have a log decorating party after the service. I'm telling you. Frank has got it all set up for you. So hopefully you've signed up for that. And if not, well, there's other parties, right? So welcome to Many Paths Spiritual Center, everybody. This is what we call a place for authentic transformation and a no judgment zone. Wherever you are on your spiritual path, you are welcome here. You can feel close to God. You can feel like God is your best friend. The Spirit and Divine are one in constant communication, or you could feel as distant as the universe is long. It doesn't matter because we're all on this spiritual walk together. If you know that your spiritual life is the most important part of your life, then that's all that matters, right? That's the focus of your life. So welcome, everybody. We are so glad you're here. We are a busy, vibrant community. Even in the holidays, I mentioned the Yule log decorating thing that we're going to have after the service today. What else do we have going on? Do we have announcements today? No, Julie's supposed to be here. Frank, since you are a featured facilitator.
Hey guys, I wasn't paying attention because I was talking. That's how I was in school. So today, the announcements for Sunday, December 21st. Today is Yule. There will be no happy class this coming Tuesday, December 23rd. Our next class will be December 30th, and that's going to be the last class, obviously, for the year. Come and celebrate the winter solstice. The Lord of Light is honored and celebrated by creating a Yule log. The symbol of brilliance and hope will illuminate your path through the colder months. Create your own and mark this winter solstice in your life. Today, following the service, it's going to be in that small room because they have a rehearsal here. So if you signed up, you can just meet me in there. Feeling stressed and drained this holiday season? Join with your local pranic healers for a holiday healing clinic today here at Many Paths Spiritual Center from 4 to 6 to restore and rejuvenate your energy field. No charge, donations gratefully accepted. Join us on December 24th at 6:30 p.m. for a special 1-hour traditional and intimate Christmas Eve candlelight service. We will hear the Christmas story, sing beloved Christmas carols, and join together in the spirit of this special season. This service is the perfect time to invite friends and loved ones to share in our spiritual community. All activity and meeting links and contact numbers can be found on the website, Weekly Happenings, Google Calendar, or you can always email the church. Thank you.
Morning, everyone.
Good morning. On the right.
Yeah, I'd like to begin this service by this part of the service by taking a deep centering breath. Today's centering thought is, we grow together as we embrace the mysteries of life with open hearts and minds. The Buddha taught his followers to try to understand their fears in order to lessen their human desires. He saw us responding to the struggles of our daily lives calmly and with courage. He replaced fear with rational understanding and loving kindness. He believed that each of us has the capacity to purify our minds, develop infinite love and compassion, and perfect understanding. He shifted attention from the heavens to the heart and encouraged us to find solutions through our problems through self-understanding. When we think loving thoughts, practice mindfulness, and speak and act with good intent, we can all witness inner peace and satisfaction evolving as we walk our daily path. When we set our intention on purifying our minds and keeping the divine at the center of our thoughts and actions, we can begin to receive all the love, peace, and joy that our hearts desire. Now please repeat these affirming statements after me. I am willing and open to hear new perspectives and choose what speaks to me. I practice love and mindfulness by listening with compassion. I grow spiritually when I embrace the mysteries of life with an open heart and mind. So it is.
And what a beautiful segue into our monthly mantra, because the Buddha taught us the concept of loving kindness and how to live our lives in a loving and kind way to everyone and everything on the planet. And that's what this song is about that we've been singing here at this portion of the service on Sundays. We can be kind. It is, for us, a central component of the holiday season, that we can be kind and we can take care of each other. So let's stand and sing together and see how much we remember from last week. So many things we can't control, so many hurts that happen every day, so many heartaches that pierce the soul, so much pain that won't ever go away. How do we make it better? How do we make it through? What can we do when there's nothing we can do? We can be kind. We can take care of each other. We can remember that deep down inside we all need the same thing. And maybe we'll find, if we are there for each other, that together we'll weather whatever tomorrow may bring. Nobody really wants to fight. Nobody really wants to go to war. If everyone wants to make things right, then what are we always fighting for? Does nobody want to see it? Does nobody understand? The power to heal is right here in our hands. We can be kind. We can take care of each other. We can remember that deep down inside together we'll weather whatever tomorrow may bring. Oh, you sound beautiful. Please be seated. I think we're learning it.
Good morning, everyone. Merry Christmas. It's Christmas Sunday. That is no pressure at all for ministers. None whatsoever. I'm so grateful to be here with you today. I'm so glad that you are here with me and that we are able to share this time together. I can't think of a group of people I would rather be with right now in this moment, in the right place at the right time, with the right people to receive my good.
Amen.
So I want to ask for you to join me in meditation. You take just a moment to settle in your seat. It's a busy week coming up for some of us. Lots of different energies are going to be at play. And it's important that we take this time to become still. I want you to imagine holding a newborn baby in your arms right now. Many of us have probably had that experience. You know what it feels like. That little bundle of preciousness. There's something about the weight of that 6 or 7 or 8 pounds. Completely at rest in your arms. Trusting you without even being able to completely focus on your face. Trusting that they are being held because there is no other option. And when you're holding that baby, nothing else matters. You can't take your eyes off of their beautiful little face. Time stands still. Love feels like a physical thing. And now, imagine yourself as the baby. Held closely by strong, secure arms. Trusting completely in the love that holds you up. Being at rest peaceful rest. Held by someone you only know as love. You only know as presence. You only know as there. Allow yourself to rest completely in the love that holds you, in the stillness, in the silence. When you were born, love was born. Every precious new baby, every precious new creation is the flowering of sacred love over and over again on the planet, bringing new expressions of life energy, sacredness, perfect, pure love. The miracle of Christmas is you. The miracle of Christmas is every baby born, every one of us who have come here to uncover our Christ nature, our sacred presence, and to give it as a gift to the world. And so it is.
For I know as a child of God on earth. Let me see him, let me be him in all I do and say. Let me hold him closer to me every time I pray. For I know this child is made of nothing but pure love. Let that love be born anew in me each day. Let that love be born anew in me each day.
Well, well, well. I love that song. It's one of my favorites. Crystal. She was teasing me about that earlier, but so we're completing our series today. We've been doing a series through the month of December on everyday Christmas. And the whole idea of this series was that we could begin to see the ordinary as holy, right? To see the everyday, the simple as sacred. Because if we can successfully do that, then we begin to see the holy as ordinary. The sacred not as something that we hope we'll discover one day, but something that lives all around us all the time. It is the most simple, essential, present aspect of our lives. And the Christmas story, of course, is deliberately unspectacular. We have this little baby, not a king. And they say he's a king, but he's a little baby. He's just a little baby. He's born in a stable, not in a palace, right? He's visited by shepherds, not Herod and his cabinet, right? He's born as a child, not as a conqueror. I saw a meme yesterday. I grew up in the Nazarene church, and there's a wonderful little Facebook page called Nazarenes for Peace. And it's where all the liberal Nazarenes hang out. So I kind of like it over there. But I just posted something yesterday that I saw, and they said something about, it said this: conquest is not a Christian concept. Right? Conquest. He didn't come as this conqueror. He came as a child, as a newborn baby, completely dependent on love to see him through. This is a pretty radical spiritual teaching that the sacred hides in plain sight. It's available everywhere. And most of what I teach, if you get right down to it, what I teach is non-duality. Advaita Vedanta. I teach oneness. I teach that there's no difference between the sacred and the secular. There's no difference between matter and spirit. There's no difference between heaven and earth. That it's all just one energy, and we're living in it, and our choice is whether to be aware of it or not, whether to be awake to it or not, whether to pay attention. Christmas is yet another time that reminds us that sacredness does not require some kind of perfection, just presence. Just be there, right? The shepherds probably would never have thought of themselves as some kind of perfection, but they showed up. They were just there. They were present, right? And so that was what we've been looking at. And I got to tell you, there's a thing about Christmas Sunday morning. It doesn't matter what kind of minister you are. I know friends, I've got a friend who's an Episcopal priest, and he's always like, this is his busy time of year. I mean, we're talking, and if you're a good Episcopalian, you know that it's not Christmas until Christmas Day. That's the first day of Christmas. And then you have the 12 days of Christmas that come after that, right? And so he's very busy, and then comes whatever. I mean, all through this Advent season, and then he's, from here till Easter, he's like, I'm buried, forget about it. I'm like, buried, will you rise again? Never mind. So it's a daunting thing, even for a minister like me, to think about what is it you want to say on this very special day. This is the day when, and what happens is, let me tell you, every Baptist church in town right now is filled to the gills. Filled to the gills, right? Some of our folks are probably in those Baptist churches right now with their family and friends. It tends to happen. We tend to have the opposite kind of thing happen here as happens in traditional churches, if you will, because, I'm going to go with mom to her service on Christmas Sunday morning. And so I invite you next year, maybe invite mom to your Christmas service on Sunday morning. I promise not to be offensive. I know. No, I don't. No, I do not. I do not promise not, but I promise to be gentle. Let's put it that way. I promise to be gentle. So I've been thinking about this service here, and I've been thinking about, let me tell you something, AI has helped me out so much with these pictures today. That is Lao Tzu sitting in the middle of Christmas morning. The founder of Taoism, the ancient Chinese philosopher. And he says it's not necessary to leave home. The inner and the outer worlds are one. The inner and the outer worlds are one. And so that's the whole message of Christmas, is finding the sacred and the simple, to find what it is we think we're looking for out here right within ourselves. And so as I've been thinking about it, I've been thinking about a lot since last week, and I'll tell you this, I always like to, my way of dealing with things is to like head on. So last week I had what came across maybe as a little bit of a challenge, right? And here's the thing, challenges are always opportunities for me. Challenge is an opportunity for me to stop and go, is there any attachment I have to this moment right now? Is there anything that I need to deal with? But because of that, I've been doing a lot of thinking about this, and that's why the title of my Christmas Sunday talk is Everyday Christmas, the Myth, Symbolism, and Call of Christmas. The myth, symbolism, and call of Christmas. We're going to dive right into that. Where's your mama? I want to talk to her about the myth of Christmas. Bring 'em on. Let me just tell you this. If you come on Wednesday night, I hope you do. Wednesday night's going to be a beautiful night. Wednesday night, if you have family members, there will absolutely, it will be so much Jesus. They will feel like it's going to feel so, they're going to feel right at home. It's going to be so traditional, Jesus Christmas, joy to the world. The Lord has come, right? And so that's a good. Bring them on. It's going to be a lovely, lovely time. They're going to enjoy it. But I want to start talking first about the myth of Christmas. If you're going to talk about the myth of Christmas, I mean, let's bring up Santa Claus, right? What I love this, folks are like, let's remember the reason for the season. Well, the reason for the season is that the earth is tilted at a certain degree, right? Is the winter solstice, right? And so, but there's so many other things around this season, and one of those is, the central figure is Santa Claus. Isn't he precious, Santa Claus? He's reading to the kids there. He's teaching them things, rosy cheeks. And so Santa Claus, is like this, all mythology is like, it's like snowballs rolling downhill. They continue to gather information and gather, different pieces and parts. And so we think Santa Claus began from a figure known as Saint Nicholas from the 4th century. He was a Greek bishop in what is now known as Turkey. And he was known for gift giving, secret gift giving, and for helping the poor, right? So he was all about generosity, and his love languages, His love languages were gift giving and acts of service, right? And so St. Nicholas, and then the Dutch name for St. Nicholas was Sinterklaas, which is easily morphed into, of course, Santa Claus in the English. And it just kind of was this side story, this sidebar to everything going on in Christendom over the several hundred years. And then in 1822, Clement Clark Moore wrote a poem called A Visit from St. Nicholas, right? And so that was the night before Christmas when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. And so that started adding to the mythology. And then in the 1860s, there was an editorial cartoonist named Thomas Nast. He is most famous for creating the elephant and the donkey that were the symbols of the two parties, right? He was mostly a political cartoonist. But he created, he kind of helped transition the look of Santa Claus. Santa Claus had been this really tall elf, kind of, I think, Will Ferrell, right? Santa Claus was Will Ferrell. Transitioned him into this kind of rotund man in red. And then we all know the story about Coca-Cola, right? In the 1930s, the Coca-Cola ads really solidified the image of Santa Claus that we know today. Santa Claus is who Santa Claus is because of Coca-Cola, period. And then you add to that other things that have the English Father Christmas, the Norse Odin imagery of riding the eight-legged horse through the sky. You kind of just blend all those together and you get this whole idea of Santa Claus. And then you get people who write songs like The Little Drummer Boy. Where did The Little Drummer Boy come from? From the woman who wrote the song The Little Drummer Boy. That's where that whole story comes from, right? And so you have different people. You have the, just put one foot in front of all the different little Burl Ives has a lot to do with the way you think about Christmas today. And it all comes together to create the myth of Santa Claus. The myth of Santa Claus, the story of Santa Claus. And in 1897, there was a young girl named Virginia O'Hanlon. And she wrote a letter to the editor of the Sun newspaper in New York asking if there was a Santa Claus, because her father had told her that if you see it in the sun, it must be true. And so she wrote this letter asking if there is a Santa Claus. And the response was written by Francis Pharcellus Church, which may be my drag name, I'm not sure. Francis Pharcellus Church. And it became the very famous, yes, Virginia, there is a Santa Claus reply. And I'm not going to read you the whole letter, but I recommend looking it up. It's a great thing to read, maybe to your kids or something, I don't know. But I want to read the full paragraph that starts with that line because it's so beautiful. It's such a beautiful description of faith and mythology. It says, yes, Virginia, there is a Santa Claus. He exists as certainly as love and generosity and devotion exist. And you know that they abound and give to our life its highest beauty and joy. Alas, how dreary would be the world if there were no Santa Claus. It would be as dreary as if there were no Virginias. I know. There would be no childlike faith then, no poetry, no romance to make tolerable this existence. We should have no enjoyment except in sense and sight. The eternal light with which childhood fills the world would be extinguished. Oh my gosh, that makes me believe in Santa Claus, right? Of course, because he looks beyond, does this human being live at the North Pole? Does this human being have a wife? Does this human being have a lot of little elves? Who cares? Does love exist? Yes, there's a Santa Claus. Does devotion exist? Yes, there's a Santa Claus. So I think it's important for us to look at a few definitions here, right? A myth is a usually traditional story of ostensibly historical events that serves to unfold part of the worldview of a people. It serves to unfold part of the worldview of a people. We often hear the word myth and we think, well, not true. Forget truth for just a moment and think of truth with a capital T, right? That it unfolds part of the worldview of a people. And I want to throw in there a definition for fiction. We talked about that last week, a little bit of fiction. I made a joke about fan fiction. And I want to tell you about what I've been thinking about it all week long. Something invented by the imagination. Anybody here that came from when we were a Unity church? You remember Unity principles? What is imagination? One of the 12 powers of man, right? Imagination is one of the most important parts of man. You ask any good fiction writer, and you ask them, is every aspect of this fictional novel that you wrote untrue? Oh, no, much of it is true. Much of it is true. I'm reading a science fiction novel right now by an African-American author, N.K. Jemisin. And let me tell you something. It absolutely shines through that this is an African-American author. There's part of the author's truth that comes through everything. And the imagination is powerful. How do we create our world without imagination? And then I want to throw in there the definition of archetype, the original pattern or model of which all things of the same type are representations. We talk about that when we're using all this language too. What if we thought about Christmas as an archetype, not a doctrine, not a dogma, but something that stands in as the first of its kind? What if we talked about Christmas as a fiction, a work of the imagination, something that springs forward from the deepest part of us, instead of a kind of belief litmus test, right? I have a good friend at work who I love dearly, who absolutely 100% is committed to the creation story as being actual factual truth. 100% committed. I am not 100% committed to that being actual factual truth. It's a beautiful, beautiful myth. It's a beautiful story that unfolds the truth of who we are, right? And so it's not a litmus test. I don't have to believe this actual factual thing. What if we thought about Christmas as a myth, not a historical record? Because here's the truth, my friends. If you give me one or the other, if you give me, do you believe this actually happened? Or do you want to hold on to the beauty of the mystery, of the magic, of the love, of the truth that is inherent in the mythological story of it? There's not even a contest. There's not even a contest. Christmas can be understood not as a historical claim to be believed, but as a human story we keep telling because it tells the truth about us. Joseph Campbell wrote, "Myth is not a lie. Myth is a way of telling the truth." At its heart, Christmas speaks to light appearing in darkness. It speaks to the sacred arriving in ordinary form. It speaks to the idea of love entering the world quietly, without force, without an army. The divine doesn't arrive from somewhere else. It is revealed from within life itself. Jesus didn't come as the Christ. He came as a baby. Then the Christ was revealed within him. What if Christmas is not about God entering the world, but about our remembering that the world has always been sacred, that the Christ impulse, the natural beauty has always been there within each new baby born? What good is clinging to the doctrine that the story is 100% true if we forget the mythical truth, the mystical truth, the metaphysical truth that love is the gospel, that light and hope and peace are the way, that the birth of Christedness is the salvation of a world-weary soul? And so now we get to the symbolism of Christmas. And that's Buddha in the nativity scene. I asked AI, I said, can you create a picture for me of Buddha at the nativity? And this is what I got. And it's one of the most beautiful. I think I'm actually going to make this my screensaver. I'm not sure because I love this so much. There's Buddha. Buddha came along about 500 or 600 years before Jesus. And so Buddha was, he wasn't still alive. He might have been. I don't know. He could have been reincarnated for the 48th time. But here's the idea that the birth story is a symbol of awakening, and it has been across many traditions over time. Buddha awakened under the Bodhi tree. In Christianity, we have the story of Jesus. We have the story of baptism, which is like a new beginning. We have the born again idea. Jesus himself said, you know what? You must be born again. And that wise man didn't understand what he was talking about. Nicodemus was the man he was talking to, I believe, and he didn't understand what he was talking about. You know what he's talking about? Born again. Wake up. Become awake. Become aware. It's not, and I'm going to be, oh Lord, I wasn't going to be offensive on Christmas Sunday morning, but here I am. I'm going to go. It's not about coming down to an altar and saying, I'm a terrible, terrible person. Please, please, please save me. It's about becoming awake, birthing the Christ within, becoming aware. That is the born again. I am a new creature, right? Christmas names this same truth of the divine spark awakening within the human heart. Something eternal is born into time, and this birth is not once and done. It's ongoing. It is now. The birth of the Christ within you is happening today and every day. The Christ is not a person to worship, but a presence to wake up to. The deep knowing that love and consciousness are what we are. So in the second chapter of Luke, you know, everything happens really fast in the scriptures. Like the story of Jesus being born is like a few verses and you move on to the next thing. And later on in that same book, it says this, and then the child grew and became strong. He was filled with wisdom, and the grace of God was on him. And so between the birth and the full flowering of living as the Christ, in the life of Jesus, in the myth of Jesus, in the story of Jesus, there is growth, there is knowledge, there is understanding to be gained, right? Here's the story that we have recorded. Jesus is born. He's presented at the temple on the 8th day. He grew, this verse, and learned. He stays at the temple after the festival of the Passover at age 12. His parents can't find him, right? Remember that story? It's the only childhood story we have of Jesus, is that he's left his parents and he's gone to the temple to learn. And the next thing we know, he's an adult. He's being baptized by John. He's being tested in the wilderness. And then he goes back home to Nazareth and begins to preach, and he's run out of town. That's where we get that a prophet is without honor in his own hometown, right? So let's look at the symbolism of all of that. Birth, presented at the temple, growing and becoming strong, in the temple at 12, baptized, tested in the wilderness, tries to go back home, sets off to be fully realized. You know what? If I am not accepted at home, I only have one choice. I got to go somewhere else because I'm going to be true to my Christ nature. What does that symbolize for us? Birth is our awakening, right? Maybe being presented at the temple is celebrating that awakening. You know, being presented at the temple is the circumcision. I'm not going to come up with a symbol for that, okay? The symbolism, you're on your own there. You're on your own there. But nonetheless, you kind of celebrate that awakening. You know what? I've done it. I've realized who I am. I've touched it. I've become aware of it. And then we develop our spiritual muscle, and we read and we learn and we go to workshops and we all this kind of stuff, right? And then we are devoted to our spiritual practice, because even when we're learning and growing, we wake up a little bit, we experience it, okay, I'm going to learn and grow. Oh, I'm not thinking about it for a while. Oh, I'm going to go back and learn and grow. Oh, I'm not thinking about it for a while. Was it just me? Okay, everybody. Okay, good. Yeah, you learn and grow, and then you go, don't think about it for a while, and then you reach a point where you're like, I'm going to be devoted to this practice. So devoted that my parents might have to come looking for me. And then I'm going to be taken deeper into spiritual understanding as I practice that devotion. I'm going to become baptized into it. I'm going to be cleansed. And then I'm going to go through that dark night of the soul. Y'all know about that? Anybody know about that? Yeah. That dark night of a soul is a mother, isn't it? It is. And it's also evidence of your growth. Because if you hadn't grown, it'd just be a bad day. But in your spiritual understanding, it is a dark night of the soul. And you wrestle with angels, and you wrestle with maybe a few demons. And that's okay. What a beautiful time. It feels gross and it's horrible, right? And what a beautiful time. What a beautiful time, because then the old way doesn't fit anymore. I've wrestled with that. I've come through it. And now, you know what? The old me just doesn't fit anymore. And I set off to be fully realized. I set off to be just like Jesus. I set off to live my Christedness. That's who I'm going to be, and I will take that. I will talk about it with anyone. I'll go anywhere it leads me, right? Where he leads me, I will follow. You remember that song? Let me ask you a question. Where are you on this path? Remember that it's circular, it's holistic. As the Buddhists tell us, we continue to return to beginner's mind. We go back to the stable at any moment. Go back to rebirth, reawakening. Let me remember. What if we prayed this prayer each day? Spirit, let me experience a daily awakening to the Christ within me. Spirit, let me experience a daily awakening to my Buddha nature. Spirit, help me to experience a daily reminder that I am made of love. That's all I ask. Let me tell you, I have never known that prayer to not be answered. So we get to the call of Christmas. The call of, as Joseph saying, come on in. You're one of the shepherds now. What does Christmas call for? What does this myth, what does this story ask of us? Why is it still resonant and relevant to us today? Why is it still the story of who we are as a people? It's because it calls for love without conditions. At its core, Christmas proclaims unearned love. And I say unearned, not meaning undeserving, but meaning there's nothing you can do for it. It's not a transaction. It's not a negotiation. It's just love freely given. No prerequisites, no purity tests, no belief requirements. This love does not divide the world into the saved and the unsaved, right? I heard a song the other day. I'm going to send it to Ryan. There's no way we could do it. But nonetheless, this is a line. This is a line from the song. Everybody's going to hell in somebody else's religion. Everybody's going to hell in somebody else's religion. But the beauty of Christmas is everybody's available to this love. This love is freely given. The world is not divided up. It simply shows up, right? One of my favorite Ramana Maharshi quotes, this is a quote that I remind myself of on a regular basis. He's asked, how do we treat others? And he answers, there are no others. They don't exist. How am I supposed to treat others? Why do you have to ask that question? You're born of love. This is a daily practice. Valerie Kaur writes about it as seeing no stranger. We see no stranger. Last week, on the first day of Hanukkah, in Australia at Bondi Beach, there was a group of people from the Jewish community who were gathered to celebrate the Hanukkah festivities on the first night. And 2 gunmen opened fire on this group. 15 people were killed, including 2 rabbis, a Holocaust survivor, and a 10-year-old girl. And the man who's being hailed as the hero of Bondi Beach, who literally jumped onto one of the gunmen and wrested the gun away from him, who himself was injured, I believe he was shot, is a man named Ahmed al-Ahmed. Think about the symbolism of that. In a world that is torn apart, we haven't had, someone said the other day, how long has the war in the Mideast been going on? I said, almost 100 years now, right? And so it's longer than that, quite frankly, this war that's been going on. But certainly with the modern era, the modern idea of the war. I saw someone speaking the other day, and he was a Jewish man, and he said, listen, I want more than anything else peace for Jews in Israel. And I also know that the Jews in Israel will never have peace until the Palestinians have peace, until the Palestinians are not oppressed and feel safe, right? What a beautiful, in the midst of all of that energy, we have a Muslim man who jumps on a gunman, puts his own life at risk to save an entire group, or as many of as he can, of a Jewish community, because he's love. It's a people, right? Love doesn't come to fix the world. It comes to recognize itself in all things. This moment calls for love. This moment calls for me. I'm here. I'm willing. I can jump in and help. Anne Frank said, look at how a single candle can both defy and define darkness. Christmas calls us to love, and Christmas calls us to be light in the darkness. It arrives at the darkest time of the year in the Northern Hemisphere. Today, of course, the solstice is the shortest day, the longest night of the year. It aligns with ancient cross-cultural wisdom, the idea of bringing back the return of the sun. It brings us this idea of a kind of hope that doesn't deny darkness. You know, a lot of times when you see the way the world is, you'll have people, if you try to be happy and joyous and free, you'll see people go, how dare you? How dare you be happy when look what's going on in the world? How dare I not bring the light? Look at what's going on in the world. How dare I not bring joy? How dare I not bring hope? Light in the darkness is hope, and if that's not Christmas, I don't know what is. We see that beautiful imagery of the stable and that single star overhead, right? A light in the darkness, and that star symbolizing the light of the Christ nature that's being born at that moment in that little boy. Christmas doesn't erase the darkness, it coexists with it and transforms it from within, just as a single candle transforms the night. Everyday Christmas means to live in a lived awakening, a realized awakening. That's what this whole series has been about. If Christmas is real, it must be lived. 365 days a year. Its spiritual invitation is simple: to choose tenderness in a harsh world, to practice generosity without transaction, to see the sacred in every face that you meet. Christmas is not something we celebrate once a year. It's something we practice one moment at a time. The power of the myth, the strength of the symbolism, is found in the elements of the story that remain ever fresh and ever new. That love, true love, has no limits. That light, pure light, is the greatest power in the universe. That hope is real and peace is possible. That is the message of Christmas. We can live every day. Merry Christmas, my friends. Namaste.
Well, thank you so much, everybody, for being here today. And I am so looking forward to continuing this vibe that we've got going on, this holiday vibe for Mini Paths on Wednesday evening at our Christmas Eve candlelight service. There's
It's going to be so much fun. It's going to be a short service. It will be about 50 minutes or so. But it'll be a perfect little break between all of your activities that you've got going on, and a way to really kind of ground yourself in all of the excitement of the season, to kind of remember what that story says to all of us. And we've got some really cool ways of telling you this story. We've got some special musical guests. And the way that we tell the story is going to be a way that only Mini Path Spiritual Center can tell it. So please take the marketing there and the plug there, and be here on Wednesday evening. We look forward to seeing you there. We've got our Pranic Healing Energy Booster clinic coming this afternoon, so go grab some lunch and come back for that. Everybody could use a little energy booster for this holiday season, right? And today's the day that you can do that. So be sure and check your What's Happening that comes out on Tuesdays for your donations. The blue vase is there for your paper donations. The PayPal QR code is there for your digital donations. I like that, the digital donations. Say that 3 times fast. It's really cool. And if we have nothing further, let's stand up, say our closing prayer, and have a holly jolly Christmas. Daphne?
Okay, everyone ready? May I stay true to the path that leads me to the light it is mine to shine. May my light provide help and kindness to others on their journey. May I bring peace to every situation, comfort to the grieving, and love to all beings. May my heart remain centered on what is sacred to my soul, and so it is.
Have a holly jolly Christmas. It's the best time of the year. I don't know if there'll be snow, but have a cup of cheer. Have a holly jolly Christmas, and when you walk down the street, say hello to friends you know and everyone you meet. Oh, the mistletoe hung where you can see. Somebody waits for you, someone's for me. Have a holly jolly Christmas, and in case you didn't know, oh by golly, have a holly jolly Christmas this year. Oh by golly, have a holly jolly Christmas this year. Thank you so much, everybody. We'll see you Wednesday.